To graph this line, let's start with a t-chart. And here we write y equals negative 1/3 x. And we get to choose our x values. Let's choose 0. Then negative 1/3 times 0 is 0. That's equal to. And that gives us our first point, 0, 0. And let's graph that here. Then we choose another x value, and you really can choose any value you would like, but we like it to be convenient. And here the 3 is convenient because they divide out to just give us negative 1. So we get 3, negative 1. And that point is here, 3, negative 1. We now need to connect those 2 points to give us our line. Sorry, my pointer is off a little bit on the iPad. You can use your calculator, or you may use your eraser to be able to draw that straight line on the exam. It does help if you put points where you want your line to go, but please make sure they go through the points where they belong. For number 11, find the location of the point xy where these two lines intersect. So that means we are looking for an ordered pair here. So we're going to have some xy. And where they intersect are when those two lines are equal to each other. So let's set them equal to each other. Negative 3x minus 2 is equal to 2x minus 7. Let's move all the variables to the right-hand side. So let's add 3x, that's a plus sign, plus 3x, because here they add to 0. Let's move the numbers to the other, so add 7. So on the left-hand side we get 5, on the right-hand side we get 5x. Divide both sides by 5, and we get x equals 1. So that's our first piece of our point. But now we need to find the y value, and to do that we can substitute that 1 into either equation. I just chose the first one, and y equals negative 5. So here we have the point 1, negative 5. Now for the next problem, it is a rational equation because we have fractions here, but there are no variables in the denominator. So the LCD that we're going to multiply through by is just 35. So let's multiply by 35. Let's write that out. 35 over 1 times h plus 2 over 5 minus 35 over 1 times 6 over 5 equals 35 over 1 times h plus 6 over 7. So we're just writing it so that we can now simplify. 5 divides this once, divides 35 7 times. That gives us 7 times h plus 2. Then 5 divides this once, divides this 7 times. That gives us, that gives us 7 times 6. And 7 divides this once, divides this 5 times. And that gives us 5 times h plus 6. Now let's distribute. 7 times h plus 2, 7h plus 14 minus 42 equals 5h plus 30. Collecting terms on the left-hand side, we get 7h minus 28 equals 5h plus 30 on the right. Let's subtract variables to put them on the left-hand side. That means we have to add the 28 to move it to the other side. And this gives us simplified 2h equals 58. Divide both sides by 2, and h equals 29. So the answer to number 12 is 29. For number 3, we're trying to find the x and y intercepts. For an x-intercept, we let y equal 0, so that we're going to have something comma 0. And for the y-intercept, we set x equal to 0, so we get 0 comma something. Oh, let's find that x-intercept. Y equals 0, so 0 equals 5x minus 6, add 6 to both sides. Divide both sides by 5, and you get 6 over 5, so 6 over 5 comma 0 is the x-intercept. For the y-intercept, x is 0, we don't know y, so y equals 5, 0 times 0 minus 6, so y equals negative 6. So that y-intercept is then 0 comma negative 6. Please note, and it's really important, that you're writing your answer as points, so you have got to write these as points, otherwise they will be marked incorrect. Let's find a formula for a linear function, and the linear function f of x, and they give us these two equations, and this is really saying y equals 15 when x is 8, so that's an ordered pair, just as this is an ordered pair. Let's write here f of x equals, just so we remind ourselves, we do need to use function notation. So the 2 points they give us are 8 comma 15 and 0 comma negative 9. Now that negative 9 is really telling us that the y-intercept is negative 9 or b. So we get to write mx minus 9. Now we're going to use that and substitute in this point. The reason why we don't use this one is because x is 0, we'd put an x in, we'd lose the m, and that's what we still need. And so let's substitute 8 and 15. So we get 15 equals m times 8 minus 9. So 15 equals 8m minus 9, add 9 to both sides. 24 equals 8m, divide both sides by 8, and m equals 3. So that's the slope. That's telling us that y equals 3x minus 9. But if you recall, we were looking for function notation, so we rename that y as f of x, and that gives us f of x equals 3x minus 9. Now for number 5. For number 5, we're given two functions, negative 5x plus 9, negative 6x plus 10. Solve this equation, and so you're really setting them equal to each other. And we're trying to find x, so let's set them equal to each other. Negative 5x plus 9 equals negative 6x minus 10. Add 6x to both sides. Then we're going to subtract 9 from both sides, and that gives us x equals negative 19. And that's all we were looking for, so we're done number 5. For number 6, we're trying to find the y-coordinate for a given point. In other words, when x is negative 15, what is y? So when x is negative 15, we find f of negative 15, and we substitute it in here. So let's go ahead and do that. F of negative 15 equals the absolute value of 8 minus negative 15. That's 8 minus a negative is 8 plus 15. That gives us the absolute value of 23. All right, that's a 3. And the absolute value of 23 is just 23. And that's it. Hope you're having a great day.